Hello students, welcome to lecture 6. In lecture 6, we will learn about polymorphism. I am Shupriya Sharkar, your course teacher. Let's move into the class. Uh, let's just discuss what is polymorphism first. In the basic class, I told you that when poly means many and morphism means uh, forms. So polymorphisms stands for the thing that has many forms is called polymorphism. So object-oriented programming has this kind of features that object can take forms of many types. So an object can behave in different ways in different circumstances. So this kind of features of object-oriented programming is called polymorphism. So as a definition, it stands that polymorphism is the ability of an object to take on many forms. So in object-oriented programming, if we try to develop polymorphism features in our real-world examples, we need two things. The first one is overriding, and the second one is overloading. So in today's lecture, we will learn what is overriding and overloading, and what are the types of overriding and overloading. So let's start from overriding. We have already familiar with overriding in a different way. If you try to recall your previous class, in your previous class, you learn about inheritance. In inheritance class, you already have seen what is overriding, but in a different format. So I will just a little bit recall that class. Here is the example of our previous lecture in a lecture of inheritance. So at first we will learn what is overriding and using the previous example. So overriding are two types. One is method overriding and another is variable overriding. So what is method overriding? Method overriding is a method that has the two methods that have same name but they do different tasks. That means two methods maybe exist in different class, but they do the same. They do not do the same things, but they have same name. They are identical, but their task is different, and so that their behavior is also different. So let's see how we can create overriding. Basically, overriding exists in parent class and its subclass. So that means in class of inheritance, we saw that subclass, that means child class, override parent class. So I think you can now recall that memory. So here in that example, uh, we create a parent class and we create a child class of that parent class. Inside parent class, we create a init method, and init method passes two arguments. One is name and another is salary. But the same method is also created in the child class. I guess you already know that child class always extend the properties of its parent class. So here it extended its properties. Parent class have a function or method, that is init method, which passes two arguments, name and salary. But in child class, the same method is extended with different features, different attributes, that is name, salary, and rank. Name and salary is always already defined inside parent class, but child class extended the third attribute, that is rank. So this is called, child class is overriding the method of parent class, and the phenomena is called method overriding. So here, when we created output, we just try to show the output. We created an object employee one, and inside the child class, under the child class, we created an object employee one, and we passes three arguments. One is name, another is salary, and another is rank. As it passes three arguments, that means we are calling the method of child class, isn't it? We are calling the method of child class because the object is created under child class. So obviously it is called from child class, but as it has a parent that is called parent class, so it can have a facility to extend its parents or override its parents. So when I called, as I called inside it, I called parent class inside it. So the call moved to the parent class, and it shows us the parent class properties. That means name and salary first. Here, Shahriar and 20 arise because I call the parent class. That means it first showed us the attribute of parent class. Then it come to the child class and show the attribute of child class. That means three attribute, and for parent class it shows two attribute. That means both the classes is showing their results, but how I want to show them, it follow the sequence. But the thing is, the same function, but the same function with different arguments and different behavior. So this is called method overriding, and always, not always, but most of the times, child class extend parent class, and child class can override the method of parent class. This is called method overriding. That means same method, but they are behaving differently and creating output different way, in a different way. So there are another type of overriding which is called variable overriding. So in previous case we saw different same type of same method with same name, but behaving differently, and now we will see variable with same name, but they are producing different values. So what is variable overriding? When we can see two variable with same name, but do different values, provide different values. So here in the first in the screen that you are watching at the left, here we created a parent class, and inside the parent class we just declare a variable, or we can say a attribute, that is name equal to, and I just put a string here which is parent's name. So you must be just surprised that why I used this slash sign here. Actually I just want to print the string. I just want to assign the string inside the name, which is parent's name. So there is an apostrophe. So you see there is an apostrophe s. So if I tries to put a apostrophe s here, so Python is taking it as the end of the string, because there is a first quotation which starts the string, and there is a last quotation which ends the string, and the rest of the thing is not included inside the string. So I don't want to do this. Actually I am taking it as apostrophe s, and I want it to print it in the when we just want to print the name. So it is including the string, it included inside the string, so I want to take it inside the string. So that is why when in such case we have to use the slash. This slash will not be printed, but the apostrophe will be taken inside the string, and at the end we have to print another string. We have to not have to print, but it I just try to make the interpreter understand that this is the end of my string, not this one. I hope you understand that. If you are not understanding what I am talking about, you can ask me in the live session. So the next, I just create a child class and assign the name of its parents here. And inside the child class, I have as again I assign the value of name, the value of variable name equals to child's name. So here both parent and child has the same variable but with different value. In parent class it has another one value, and in child class it has a different value. So if I try to call it and try to print the value, which one will be printed? I created an object named call. Call is an object under child class. I created an object under child class. So let's see what will happen. I as it is created under child class, so I use call dot name. The name now the interpreter will the interpreter be confused? Call is an object, and I just try to print the name value under call through the call object, but which name will be printed? uh, uh, Either child's name or the parent's name, which name will be printed? And I just run the script, and I found that it is printing a child's name. So this name, the last name is the last assigned name is being executed. But why? I told you earlier that parent child class always override parent class. So what is overriding is the updated value. So child class is trying to override. So child class is the value of child class is the updated value. So the name later I assigned is the updated name. So it is showing child's name. So let's see another example here in the right side. Here the same example, but inside the child class I did not updated the name value. I did not update it. So let's see what happened. I just let it be as it was. So I created a object call inside the child class, but child class do not have any name. But we know that child class is a child of its parents, so it has right to access its parents attribute, parents all the properties. So it can access name. So it is the name is not unknown to the child class, because it is already inherited the properties of its parent class. So child is not undefined. Child is defined by, sorry, name is defined by that child class. So I when I try to call dot name, so it is now printing the parents class name, because it is not overridden. That means name is not updated by the child class. So as name is not updated, it is still holding the value of its parent class. It is holding the value of its parent class. So now the value, the name, the variable name is holding the parent class value. So it is printing parent's name. So that's it. That means the previous example, in the previous example, name has been overridden by its child class. That means updated value will be the child class value. Next, come to the method overloading. So to create polymorphism, there is another way, that is overloading. And in overloading, we try to overload the method. So what is method overloading? A method with multiple ways to call it is called method overloading. Simply, in method overloading, we tries to take different types of arguments, different number of arguments, and so that when we call a method with a certain number of argument, that method will be executed. Not the other methods with the same name will not be executed. That means a same method will be created or declared multiple times with a different number of arguments. When the number of arguments matched with the defined one, then that method will be executed. Let's see an example to clear the knowledge. Here, I create a class geometry, and under this class, I create a function named quadrilateral, and inside quadrilateral, I just pass an argument which is called structure. But here, one thing, I did not mention what will be the value of that structure. I assign structure equals to none. That means structure has a value, structure has no value. That both are correct. That means you have choice, you have flexibility to use quadrilateral function with different arguments. That is the that means you can pass different value, or without any value, and quadrilateral will be executed. This is called method overloading. Quadrilateral will behave different ways with different number of arguments. Sometimes there is no argument, sometimes there will be arguments, and different types of arguments, different number of arguments. So let's see. Inside quadrilateral, I just enforce some conditions. The first condition is, if structure equal square, if the structure value hold square, then it will print. That means it will do the next statement, next task. That means it will at present it will show us that print statement. This is a, and whatever the quadrilateral, it will print the whatever the structure, it will print the name. Elif means, in Python, elif means else if. In C, we know that what is else if. Yeah, and in C, what it means, through else if, it is replaced in Python by elif. So elif, structure equal rectangle. If structure hold the value rectangle, then it will print this is and the structure name. Else, at the end of the, if all the conditions become false, then the last condition will be true. Else it will print that not a structure. Otherwise it will print no, not a structure. Then I created an object, and under a geometry class, and then I called a quadrilateral function with square value. So as the value is square, which condition will be matched? When quadrilateral is called, it will match that structure equal none. But I have a value that is square. So I told you that when structure equal none, that means structure, if there is no structure value, it is also okay. If structure has a value, it is also okay. So as structure has a value, that is square, it will enter into the block, and it will find that if the conditions, which condition will be matched. If structure equal structure, that means if condition has been matched, and the next statement will be executed, that means this is a structure. So the output is this is a square. That means structure has a value holding square. So it is printed here. What if I did not pass any value? So I called it again with no argument. That is, I called object dot quadrilateral with no argument. That means none value. It is printing that not a structure. That means the else is executing now, and it is printing not a structure. So that's all for today's class. I hope that you have already understand the basic and how to create polymorphism using a language. In using, you can use multiple examples, and to clear your concept. If you have questions, you can ask me in live class. So see you in the live class.